Hey kitty cats. Alright, I'm back home. I made it all the way up to 157th and the last sculpture, but like many of the other sculptures, wasn't really an easy task to get shots of the sculpture. I keep bringing back the Kathy Ruttenberg exhibit because that's the only other Broadway Mall exhibit I have to compare it to, and I feel like the dynamics of the Broadway Mall, being outside, being accessible, being out in the open, and really having to do with weather and crowd and all of that really plays a big factor in how people view the art and how I experience the art. And so it was, I saw them all, and it still wasn't as enjoyable as Kathy Ruttenberg. It just felt a little disjointed to me that some of the pieces had placards that explained that the birds were being affected by climate change, and some of them didn't. Some of the birds were really inaccessible, and some of the birds were really inaccessible, and it was difficult to get to them and view them in a 360 arena. That's what I was speaking about before, and that's really sad because it's a sculpture. You know, you want to see a sculpture. The reason a sculpture exists versus a painting or a picture is that it is 360 degrees. It does have different dimensions. It has, height and depth and length and volume. And so it's just really, I don't know. The experience as a whole was great because I'm not an art failure anymore. I didn't blow out a lung trying to get from one piece to another. It was fairly easy to do once I got across the park. So I feel good that I was able to see the whole exhibit, but I just feel like it was a little lacking in areas, mainly in accessibility, which is really ironic because it's outside. It's supposed to be accessible. I mean, that's kind of the value of the Broadway Mall Association and collaborating with artists. Otherwise, especially in a lot of the places in Upper Manhattan where the works are located, there wouldn't be that investment in public art and in beautification and all of that stuff. So it was just very disheartening to me that the rest of the exhibit I really couldn't show you. I couldn't really get good shots of the exhibits, and I'm not going to compromise my ability to shoot and give you something less than. This was another art excursion. Definitely had its ups and downs, definitely had its drama, definitely had its moments, but I think the big takeaway is that what I learned most from this is you have to keep trying, you have to persevere, and just because you have obstacles in your way doesn't mean that you can't get something done. I definitely am echoing a lot of YouTubers when I say that sometimes you just have to get something done. Sometimes you have to get something out. And when I wasn't able to complete the exhibit in the last video, I felt really discouraged about creating and about making, and I felt like it had to do with my physical stamina and my ability to want it enough, and it just was a demon bike that I was on, and now I was on a different bike and a better bike, and so one obstacle was overcome and other obstacles were in the way. Another comparison between this and the Ruttenberg exhibit is that when I viewed that other exhibit, it was 28 degrees outside, Fahrenheit. So for my foreign friends out there, that's really cold. It's gross weather to be out in. So there was nobody outside, barely anyone outside, especially by New York standards. And it just, it's a nice day today. It's absolutely beautiful outside, and even though everyone is indoors, they definitely came out, and there was definitely a lot of people outside for this beautiful day, but that really kind of put a harsh on my mellow because I wasn't able to get the shots, and I wasn't able to perform in the way that I'm used to performing. So it was good and bad. Obviously there are a lot less people outside because of the stay at home and be safe and social distancing and all of those things, and all of those things are important, but art is also important. Being able to view your city, being able to explore your city, and being able to explore art at the same time, those things are also important. So the exhibit in a whole, I did not enjoy as much as the Kathy Ruttenberg exhibit. The Ruttenberg exhibit, I saw a piece out of context, and I went hard looking for information, and who made this, and why is this, and what is this, and it sparked a bunch of questions. This one didn't spark as many questions, or it sparked a lot different questions that were a little more bureaucratic, like why are some of the exhibits, why are some of the pieces, the further you go uptown, less accessible than the ones downtown? I was able to do 360 shots of the pieces downtown, but once I got past 116th Street, everything was pretty blocked off, and it was just, you weren't able to get a 360 view of any of the other pieces, and you weren't able to get as detailed a view, and you weren't able to, reach in and touch anything. And so, and I understand that, not wanting people to touch stuff, and but at the same time, it's a sculpture. You should be able to view a sculpture in 360 degrees. That's why it's a sculpture. sculpture is that in 360 degrees, you get a different view and a different angle and you get a different moment and emotion from every view that you see, or you should. That's a successful sculpture. So to only limit a sculpture to front view, I think it's very limiting, and I don't know if that was an artistic decision, or if that was a bureaucratic decision, or if that was, just how the chips fell, or if that's just how the chips fell. But either way, it definitely handicapped the exhibit, and it made it not as enjoyable because I already wasn't enjoying it. I was more excited that I was able to bike that long, so that was a personal affliction. But I don't know. I haven't really processed what made it less enjoyable, but it does, and it's really difficult to. Well, like I said in my last video, sometimes them's the breaks. I didn't have the best time viewing Birds on Broadway, but someone else who is interested in birds that are affected by climate change and reading up on those birds and species they might actually be really excited about it. And I'm not here to discourage those people. I think that they should definitely look into it if that's what they're into. But I'm not the biggest fan of birds in the first place. So I don't know how this was supposed to go, but I'm excited I made it home in one piece. I'm excited that I didn't feel like I blew out a lung this time. And I'm just overall excited that I was able to see the collection as a whole and be able to judge it fairly. Like I said, some of the mechanics were really in the way of me enjoying it, but that is one opinion, and everybody gets to have one, and that's the beauty of opinions. So I think I will be more on a virtual kick after this video. I definitely wanted to conquer Broadway and conquer bike riding instead of using the train and conquer the pandemic, and I just wanted to get some power back. But I'm done, and I can, definitely sit at home